That's a shame. That's a shame, you know that? I'm dead. Wiggle the turret, wiggle the turret. What is going on, guys? So, a little bit more serious topic today. My name's Slickby. If you're new to the channel and you like this video after you watch it, feel free to subscribe. And if you like the video, at the end of the video, just give it a like. It helps me out a lot. So, the big topic, the elephant in the room that we're talking about today is bias. What is bias? I'm curious to know what your definition of bias is. Bias has a definition, a real one, and it also has the one that we've given it, right? The definition of bias in War Thunder, which is something that is overpowered because of what nation it is. Now, it's kind of gotten to the point where if you say something is bias, it does not necessarily mean it could even be a good tank. It just means something's not going right for you in that current state of War Thunder. Not necessarily the game as a whole. It could be just one match. If you bounce a shot in a weird way, it's bias. If the enemy bounces a shot in a weird way and you die, they're bias. If a tank is better and you don't have access to it, it's bias. If there's a tank that somebody paid money for that is killing your tank that you didn't pay money for, it's bias. Or it's pay to win. We'll leave that topic for a different day. But basically what I'm here to clear the air about is bias. It's not really a thing. It's not a real thing. It's an excuse. Bias is like your excuse to your mom when you didn't clean your room. Well, honey, why didn't you clean your room? I asked you several times, and you were just playing War Thunder, but bias was the reason you didn't clean the room. It's kind of like that. A small example. Basically, every tank has a weak spot. Every tank can be killed by almost every tank in its tier. The only tiers that really have issues where you cannot kill something is like very, very low tiers. You'll run into a KV1. Like the first time you run into a KV1, you're like, wait a second, how do I destroy this thing? It's a whole new beast. And that is the case, but it's a learning experience. There is still weak spots, of course, on every KV1 and stuff, but that's just kind of the general statement. What I want to do away with, though, at least in our community and, you guys who watch the videos, let's enlighten ourselves, right? Instead of saying something is biased, let's go check it out. And to prove this point, I'm just going to take a lot of OP tanks that people say are biased and show you that there are good tanks that every nation holds. And if that's the case, then is every nation biased at a certain tier, or is it just good tanks are good tanks, bad tanks are bad tanks, and if you can play the game well, you'll probably have very little issue? I think it's the latter. But here we have the KV-220. This is a premium tank. It was actually a reward tank for one of the events. I didn't actually go look it up, but it's a really good tank. It's at 5.7. It's got 100 millimeters of armor on every single flat surface of the tank, pretty much. Which is incredible. Even the ass has 60 millimeters and 100 down here and 100 millimeters side and 100 millimeter here and 100 here and 100 here and 100 here. It's great. And when it's angled, it bounces like no other tank at this tier. It's fantastic. But there are tanks that can kill this, and it is very easy to kill. If you take a look at the armor profile, this little blanket right here is 90 mils thick. X-ray it, ammo, and crew. Hit the right side right here with anything that can pen 90 mils or more, and you got yourself a disabled KV-220. But let's hop around the tech trees a little bit and look at some tanks that are overpowered, quote unquote, for their tier, and kind of just show you that something at 5.7 could still be good. Here's 5.7 Germany, for example, and let's take a look at the Ersatz M10. The Ersatz M10 is my grinding Panther now. It's a fantastic tank. It's also a premium tank, and it's German at 5.7. It has a gun that can easily pen the KV-220 at any spot. So does that make this tank easier, or is it better? Is this German bias if this tank kills you? I don't know, it's not really a thing. This tank is just as easy to kill as the KV-220 would have an easy time killing this thing. This thing would have an easy time killing the KV-220. It's just whoever gets the first shot off, whoever aims in the better spot. And that's kind of how War Thunder works. If we jump to America at 5.7, let's take a look at their 5.7 tank. They got a Jumbo. The Jumbo is a fantastic tank. If we just take a modification, I guess we can look at. Oh, not modification. Let's take a look at the tank in the customization. So yeah, so this is a Jumbo. This thing's got fantastic armor on the front plate. You can't see it, but it's actually, there's double plates up here, and it's got, you know, around, I think it's like 130 something ish turret or front armor, and then the mantlet's 177. Super hard to pen, and you got 152 around the entire turret. This is a hold down monster, also at 5.7. So, you know, this is a great tank. This thing can be killed easily if you hit it in the tracks, but if somebody's playing it properly, I mean, it'll kill a KV-220, it'll kill an Ursats, or an Ursats will kill this, or it'll get killed by a KV-220, you know, and that's what I'm trying to show you guys. I think the only example of a 5.7 tank that I probably couldn't show you that's really good at its tier, take a look at the Centurion Mark 1 while we're saying that, is like something in Japan or maybe Italy, because Italy doesn't even have a tank at that tree or at that BR, I don't think. But let's take a look at the Centurion Mark 1. This is a tournament tank for me along with the Jumbo. Fantastic tank. I mean, it's got APCR and APDS, or not APCR, I mean APDS at this tier, which pens 220. So it can kill a KV-220, kill an Ursats, kill a Jumbo. But it can also be killed by all those things. This thing gets smoke grenades and a really fast reload, 7.6 seconds, with an ace crew. I mean, but you can still kill it. It's got weak spots and it's got strong spots. And if you're playing the tank well, you know, you'll be able to bounce the other two. If we go to Japan here, I don't think Japan has anything good at 5.7, and that could be the difference maker. Yeah, I mean, it has a premium Tiger, which in my opinion is good, but you know, Japan's lacking. So if you want to complain and you're a Japanese player, yeah, sure, you can complain a little bit about some bias, I guess. But also, you know, what are you gonna do if you're France? You got no 5.7 tanks at all. I don't see any. That's a shame, dude. But at 6.7, you regain it, you know, and it's like that for every single tier in War Thunder. So let's just all settle down with the bias now that we've explained what War Thunder bias is and enjoyed our little conversation, and hopefully some of you guys are, you know, your eyes have opened and you're like, okay, maybe you are right. Maybe I need to just play some tanks and War Thunder will start to seem more fair to me. Let's take out the KV-220. And also, if something does happen to you where you die and you want to say bias, let's replace it with RNG. All right, let's go do this, guys. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Bias in the room. Oh, it's a Churchill. Actually, that's quite nice. Wait, where is it? Hold on. There's a Churchill back around the corner, and now there's an M6 here. I am completely Oh!
G'day, mate. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
Holy sh! Are you serious, bro? Are you serious, bruv? Bruv! Dude, this is insane, actually. That he actually looked at me. Yeah, go look at him. Go look at him. Oh, I gotta reload, dude. You're mad about this one. Enjoy that one. That's what you get for turning around and having telepathy and knowing I was coming for you, alright? Alright. Alright. Go fight the IS-2, I guess. I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm just confused. This Churchill is on a bean. He's off a bean. That was an interesting encounter. I've had quite a bit of those today in War Thunder. I guess in real life too. Excuse me. They're capping C behind us. Oh. Thank God. I'll see you later. Oh, I'll see you later. Oh, I bounced something off my ace. Hold on. Oh, there he is. What are you? Oh! Wait, those bombs. Oh, man. Dude, these have been the best games ever. Like, the best 3 games I could have possibly had after saying that tanks aren't biased. Because this tank is great. It really is. It's a great tank. You can usually murder everything. But for some reason, I've just had the most interesting encounters where I die. But I'm going to cut the video off there. Hey, remember, guys. Keep your bias strong. And keep your will stronger, I guess. Hopefully, if you're new to the channel, you like the video and I convinced you to stick around for a little while. And if you did watch from the beginning and you're still at this point and you're like, hey, I like the video, feel free to click that like button. It helps me out quite some bit. I actually don't know if it helps me out, but I feel like that's what all the other YouTubers ask for. I gotta be like Jake Paul, dude. Gotta get on that level. I'll see you guys. Peace out.
I was a terror since the public school era. Bathroom passes, cutting classes, squeezing asses. Smoking blunts was a daily routine since 13. A chubby nigga on the scene. I used to have the tray deuce and the deuce in my bubble goose. Now I got the Mac in my knapsack, lounging black, smoking sacks up in axe and sidekicks with my sidekicks, rocking fly kicks.